I want to talk about immigration consequences. Immigration consequences. So in America, unfortunately, a person who's not a citizen, they don't have the same flexibility or luxuries regarding criminal cases as a person who's a U.S. citizen. One of the privileges that most American citizens take for granted is we don't suffer the fear of deportation. We're not we're not worried about getting deported somewhere. We're American citizens. We're born here. Nobody's gonna send us somewhere else to another country. It's not a thing we have to worry about. But there are a lot of people in America who aren't American citizens, and if they get caught up in the law or get caught up in this criminal injustice system, the consequences for them could be so much more dire. It could lead to deportation. There's a Supreme Court case that came out a few years back now, Padilla, and it basically says, an attorney and the courts have a duty to let somebody who's not a U.S. citizen know of immigration consequences for taking a plea on a case or for understanding what a conviction would mean in their situation if they're not an American citizen. So I'm an American citizen. If I get in trouble, let's say I get arrested for theft, which is called a crime of moral turpitude because it questions my character, right? It says, hey, maybe I'm somebody who can't be trusted. I might take a probation, a deferred probation, a 2 days credit for time served, and go on about my life. Well, a person who's not a U.S. citizen, right? They're on their way. They have a different status. Maybe they're on a student visa. Maybe they're on a work visa. Because there's so many different ways somebody can be in America legally who's not a U.S. citizen. Or they could be somebody who's undocumented, right? They don't have an official status. If they get charged with theft, that could affect the possibility of them ever becoming a citizen. So the decisions they have to make in criminal cases are a lot different. Like, I have more flexibility as a citizen. I can say probation, jail, maybe I want to fight it. There's less options for them, right? There's less options for those individuals who aren't citizens or who have a different status. It's like, if I get a conviction for theft, I might not ever be able to become a citizen. And it just changes things for them. So keep that in mind. Anybody who's not a U.S. citizen who gets caught up in the criminal injustice system here in America, I recommend that they talk with an immigration attorney who's versed in immigration consequences as a result of having a criminal conviction, right? Talk with that person. If you're going to hire a lawyer, make sure that lawyer refers you to somebody who can give you information about that or is well versed themselves, right? That's so important. It's so important to have that information. Because again, I keep saying this because it's important. A person who's not a citizen doesn't have the same flexibility of choices. Depending on the type of crime they get a conviction for, it might result in them being deported. That simple. So I just want to talk about that real quick.